All right, hypnotists, coaches, hypnotherapists, if you are in the people helping space, I've got something for you that I think is really going to help. Now, how most of you probably operate your business, and I'm just kind of spitballing here, I'm guessing, is that maybe you have some type of discovery call. It could be you do one-on-one sessions where it's just you and another person. Maybe it's group sessions where you have either a group facilitated style coaching, or maybe you do group hypnosis. It could be any of those. But ultimately, you kind of have the same journey when it comes to your customer finding out who you are before they buy your product. Now, this is something that I got from Ryan Deiss at Digital Marketer, and inside of Pykthos, we teach a lot of the same core concepts that Digital Marketer teaches, but ours are strictly for hypnotists, coaches, hypnotherapists, people in the people helping space, like you, hopefully. And so when it comes to understanding your customer, there are a couple fundamental flaws that people have around how exactly does a stranger become a buyer? How in the world do you know when somebody is ready to make the purchase, or are you just kind of shouting into the wind? Well, there's a journey, like I was saying before, that every customer, regardless if you do one-on-one sessions, regardless if you're a therapist or a hypnotist or a coach or anything, there is something called a customer journey. And this dates way back to, like the 80s and 70s, 80s, 60s, somewhere around there, where it used to be called the customer map. It was their journey of stranger to buyer. Now for you, it's going to look something like this. Your customer has no idea who you are, at least not right now. And what you would like for them to do is eventually buy your ascended offer. Now, the reason why this is an A, it stands for ascension. And what ascension means is that they buy your core offer, but you might have something above that they can ascend to. The problem that everybody that we've seen in this industry is that the customer has no idea who you are. So it's almost like as if you're going on a first date, and instead of getting to know who they are and follow this wonderful journey, you go from, hey, we're a stranger and you have no idea who I am. Do you want to buy my stuff? And man, that is awful. That is very similar on that date to taking them out for the first time. And on that first date, you say, what do we name our kids? Nobody likes that. That's creepy. Don't do that. What you should be doing though, and I mean the should in like the nice, like this will help you way, not the parental, don't do that kind of way, right? What I mean by this is your customer is a stranger. They're just like you. They don't know if they can trust you. They don't even know if they like you yet. They're just kind of existing. And then suddenly they become aware, which is what this A is. They become aware of who you are. Maybe they become aware that you have a product that might fit a problem that they have. Something that would solve the very issue that they've been looking for. Now, once they become aware of you, they have to be willing to engage with your material in some fashion. That's what this E is engagement. That means that you have to have content, like the content you're watching right now. You have to have something that they're willing to watch or rewatch over and over again. You have to be able to get them to look at the things that you have. Like maybe it's a website with some sales copy on it. Maybe it's like a video that you put up on YouTube. Maybe it's just a regular old post on like Facebook or Instagram or something like that. And they're finally getting to know you a little bit better. Now, the S right here stands for subscription. And this is probably one of the most neglected steps of all of them. Because it's one thing for a customer to know that you exist, and it's another for them to engage with your content, but you have to have in some way, shape, or form their ability to give you their email address or their phone number in exchange for something valuable. Now, inside of the Pykthos Mastermind, Chris Thompson and myself, we run this wonderful mastermind with our faculty members like Lori Hammond, Ryan Montes, and Anthony Serino. And time again, hypnotists or coaches or therapists in this industry seem to struggle with understanding that it is okay for you to create something for free and give away. Now, if you're going to be creating something for them to subscribe, that's what the S is, subscribe to, it needs to be valuable. 10 minutes or less, something that they can easily consume and learn a little bit more about who you are and what you're doing, specifically with the solution that you might have to help them with their problem. Now, in order for them to subscribe, you just need something simple like a form on a website, send me a DM, anything like that where they're giving you contact information in exchange for something valuable. Now, once they've subscribed, the next step is to convert them. Now, and I don't mean we're going to get them to buy our big offer. No, we're going to convert them in terms of having them invest just a little bit of time or a little bit of money, not your main thing, but something minute, something enough that they go, okay, I'm willing to trust this person enough that if the money that I gave them or the time that I gave them didn't turn into what I was hoping, I wouldn't feel that bad. So we're talking like $20, $15, something like that. Or if it's an exchange of time, we're looking like an hour, 45 minutes, a half an hour even. Now, in our industry of the one-on-one or the group sessions or whatever, your conversion stage is kind of like your discovery calls. Those are typically a time investment that people will show up to, that they will invest, and they will give you their time in exchange for hopefully something meaningful. Or maybe you have something that we would call a tripwire, meaning that it is a small dollar amount that turns the person's frame of mind from I am a stranger and still getting to know you to I have now become a buyer. I've pulled out my wallet and I've given you just a little bit of money. Now, you notice how the conversion stage still isn't the ascension stage. We haven't got there yet because there is one final step in this, and that is the excite phase. Now, in order for someone to be excited about your product, they have to have, as Ryan Deiss calls it, the aha moment. So during your discovery call, maybe it's you do a really cool technique and you are able to completely reframe their mind and what they were thinking and who they are. And like the problem is just like, oh, it doesn't seem that bad anymore. That is the aha moment, because what you're selling is not hypnosis. What you're selling is not life coaching or fitness coaching or health coaching or even therapy. What you're selling is a transformation. You are helping them to become the victim into the hero. You're helping them transform from the person that's had this problem for their entire life to now I don't know who I am because the problem's gone and they get to reinvent themselves. Transformation in our industry is the one thing that we are selling above all things. As the hierarchy of our needs, as was described by Harvard, when it comes to marketing, self-actualization is the very, very top one. And so if you can think of not selling hypnosis, but giving your client, giving your person the aha moment so that they start to realize that the thing that you do, the hypnosis, whether it's a protocol or a technique that you have or a therapeutic modality, that is the solution that they've been looking for. But you're doing it without ever telling them that this is the solution, right? So once they have the aha moment, now is the time for you to make the offer, because you have overridden their old beliefs about what was or wasn't possible. You have helped them overcome the limiting things that a person will put on themselves to not be able to move forward. It could be that they've been procrastinating their whole life, or maybe they just have this internal belief that they're never going to be good enough, or it could be a wide variety of problems. And your job is not to instantly get them to buy your thing. Your job is to take them on a journey that makes sense, to take them on a journey that sells the next step. It doesn't go from A to A. It walks through this wonderful journey that naturally takes them from I am a stranger to now I am your customer. And so my name's Timothy September, and I co-founded something called Pykthos, and I would love for you to be there. Check out our content, like, subscribe, follow. I don't know what channel this is going to be on, but I would love for you to find more of our stuff. So share this with somebody that you think would be beneficial to them, and I hope it was beneficial to you. And so thanks so much once again, and good night.